Look at me now. They told me I was nobody special, but there ain't nobody keeping me down. Look at me now. And I don't always know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm doing it well. I've been cast aside, buried alive. I've been down in the bowels of hell. Now I rise like the phoenix and shine on the demons. I finally reached the ground. Look at me now.
Hell yeah, I'm right back at it. Man, I made a habit that I laughing at the people who said that I would never make it happen. Better eat crow, but never on your toes, because when I blow, I'm gonna bring the racket. Most of y'all really stay capping just to feel special inside the bracket. I swear to God, they hope I trip and fall, but like a pig to stop, I feel right at home. It's really hard for me to stop when I'm feeling hot and like I'm on a roll. I'ma lock and load and let the words flow right to your dome like rubber chrome, with no control in my rebel soul. When I shit on y'all like an asshole, my reputation is refutating all the bullshit that these doubters saying, assassinating with the songs I'm making. That's the goal for my dream occupation. Part of me for no longer waiting. I guess I finally ran out of patience, so I'm about to be demonstrating my evil plan for world domination.
Look at me now. They told me I was nobody special, but there ain't nobody keeping me down. Look at me now. And I don't always know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm doing it well. I've been cast aside, buried alive. I've been down in the bowels of hell. Now I rise like the phoenix and shine on the demons. I finally reached the ground. Look at me now.
And there, don't did that. I seen a snake's head up in my grass, so I had to grab that weed racket and decapitate it right quick fast. Now the fire's lit under my ass. Gotta keep it pushing, no looking back. I never really fit into the program, so I don't really think that you understand. Let them know that I'm that guy. Middle finger high with that crooked smile till the day I die. And they take the ashes and spread them all throughout the sky. Hardwired to go wild every time I'm feeling so inspired, like propane is in my breath. Other words, I be breathing fire. So fuck all that shit that you talking, man. I'll never fade like I'm facing the crowd. I'm spreading my wings like a bird in the clouds. To soar through the sky, you will not keep me down. I still hold it down by myself and I'm proud. Bitch, I'm about to clown when I get my crown. I'm making shit happen while searching new ground. So do me a favor and look at me now.
They told me I was nobody special, but there ain't nobody keeping me down. Look at me now. And I don't always know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm doing it well. I've been cast aside, buried alive. I've been down in the bowels of hell. Now I rise like the phoenix and shine on the demons. I finally reached the ground. Look at me now.
What is up, pimps? It's your boy Cree, and I'm here with a friend of the studio, a longtime friend of the music game, aka the rap world, the rap realm. I would like to welcome back SAMIAM.
What's up, Bubba? How you doing
A
tonight?
million claps for you, buddy. Man, okay. I see what you're doing. You was working on a new video today. You dropped the new album first. Let's get a hold of the album first, okay?
Yeah.
What's it called? When'd you drop it?
It is called Maverick, and it dropped literally March 19th, so today.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay,
man.
okay. Well,
Like,
some of the posts I was seeing, it was on Instagram, and it was like we seen actual physical copies. You're already showcasing like iTunes links, whatnot, shit like that. So,
Yep. Trying to up my promotion game for this one because this is the first ever studio album. So
yeah.
Trying to do shit professionally unprofessional.
Well, you haven't been going unprofessional with it because you've been rocking it the whole way through, man. You knocked out a music video probably about, I'd say, a month ago, and it was pretty good. I went and checked it out for myself. We had talked about getting you on here since the whole project of Maverick, and Where are we sitting at success-wise with your first video? How's it looking?
Man, we dropped it on March 4th, and within 3 days, I hit 100 views, which for me is a big deal because never had gotten that on something for just me. Like when we hit that 100 views, I was like, fuck it, I got to do something special. So I actually did a little small remix video for 3-6 Mafias Who Run It.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
man.
there's like contests and stuff that they've been bringing out over time sometimes. And yeah, I saw you were kind of messing around on that track.
Had a lot of shit to say on that one. That one's said some shit.
You and you damn white rappers, I tell you what.
Them damn honkies.
The music video you were doing today, it looked like you were kind of like in a suit in the fucking woods. Man,
yeah, I was in.
Sounds like some crazy ideas coming out.
This vest and a nice white dress shirt and blue jeans in the woods, and got some dope shots of that, man. I'm so excited to see what this guy does with this one. Shout out Bobby Burns, aka Slave or Ego Slave. Or is it Slave Ego?
Oh man.
But yeah, no, he does tremendous
what's up, Don?
work.
Thanks for showing up, Don. So yeah, I saw the behind the scenes. I'm sure you're gonna have like some extra bonus content, maybe.
Yeah, no, he actually we shot enough behind the scenes footage. There will be its own video on YouTube of like reminiscent daydream behind the scenes shit. We had a whole like my manager Zach grilled up hot dogs and shit. We just had a good time with it today.
So this was a all day endeavor, I guess, like with the whole, because I mean you can't shoot a music video in 30 minutes. I mean you can, but it probably wouldn't be good. But
the one that's out, Don't Compare Me, we shot in like an hour and a half. This one we shot from like 2:00 and took an hour break, and then I think we wrapped it at like 6.
So
movie.
Yeah, you kept saying movie. Now, what was indicative of a movie? I mean, was it just off the charts fucking wardrobe, or
no, not even that. This song, Reminiscent Daydream, is it's kind of a memoriam. The video itself is like a memoriam to my dad, and we actually got footage of me spreading the ashes, and
wow.
like had a small little campfire, and I did this cool thing with his guitar he left me. It's just a real sentimental video, and the locations and the shots that this guy got, we got to see like little glimpses of what it was, just the raw footage. And man, his camera is just damn. Like,
Dude,
when I say I'm excited,
I have to ask, did you actually throw out some of your father's ashes?
Yeah, no, these were his actual ashes. Yeah.
Wow, you hear that, guys? His father is immortalized in this video and this track forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's some pretty deep shit. You must have really went into some deep thought about how much this all means to you,
Dad makes a cameo. There's we got a little montage that's going to be like at the end of the video, and there's actually like the only known audio recording I can find of Dad, and it's from like the 90s, and it's just the dopest shit. I know some people are like, it's so fucking what. This video for me though is everything.
Okay. So it's just getting better and better as we go along.
Yep. And last time we talked, I was still living in Memphis. And as much as it pains me to say it, moving away from Memphis, I live out around Nashville now. Moving away from Memphis is the best move I've ever done for my music career. Like,
so you're saying musically, it was a really good move,
musically, life. We talked about my life struggles, and just ever since moving out here, my life has been this year until fucking dickhead over in Russia did what he did. I had my foot on this year's neck. Like, okay, let me put it like this. I've never professionally released content, right? So we dropped the music video March 4th. We dropped the 3-6 remix a few days later because we hit 100 views. Today, March 19th, we dropped the album, shot the second music video. The music video that we shot today comes out next weekend. That's, 4 big things professionally content-wise in a month. So it went from nothing to I'm here, motherfuckers. Like, it's really just, it went from 0 to 60 like that.
So, are you just that inspired? Like, you've just been full on out the gate, pumping out new material? Is this going to be something where you're going to create a big hype around the release of the album and then kind of let it simmer on people for a little bit and then come back with some more stuff, like more videos? Or are you just going to be full steam ahead from here on out?
I'd like to say I'm going to be full steam ahead, but we all know that's not how this works. Like,
yeah, true.
I'm about to be finally independent on my own with like my living expenses. No more on the titty for SAMIAM. And like, I just got a new job. I was working at Goodwill and only making $10 an hour, and I couldn't pay bills if I wanted to. Now I work at Walmart and I'm making 15.
Okay.
And so now we've got it worked out, a budget worked out where I can have like 300 extra a month, and it's going to go towards content and shit. And the whole plan is like for a couple of months, just kind of promote it, maybe send my videos into reaction channels if I can get a hold of them. But we're already working on, I'm already working, on the next album. So it's just nonstop with me. I always got to be doing something.
Well, I was going to say, if you wanted to offset some of the financial costs of your own music production, video production, what about doing some live shows? Can we get some live shows set up around the Nashville area?
Man, if you know some booking people,
make some money.
I wish
you have better luck than me.
No, see, that's where my manager, he's hoping to look and talk to some people.
Man, if you can get some more live opportunities and gigs, you can take that money and run off of it,
Yeah, and that's why, unfortunately, with life, I had to hit a slight roadblock. Luckily, I didn't get like an influx of orders, but I got this merchandise I'm trying to sell. The CDs, the shirts. Right now, as it stands, I can't afford to ship any of it out anyway. But give it a month or two, and I'll be right back in the boat of being able to handle my business. We're trying to figure out live shows, man. Nashville's weird. We're more so looking to try to do shit in the surrounding areas of Nashville, like Clarksville, Murfreesboro, Ashland City. The small town shit, as opposed to how we did it, how I did shit in Memphis, like going to Rock House and whatnot.
Yeah, it seemed like Memphis, like when I was kind of coming up back then, I was thinking, man, you kind of got to get plugged in to get shows detonated over Memphis. But then it's like, it feels like Nashville would be kind of more harder because their music is really tough.
Memphis, that scene is dead. There's so much phony bullshit in that scene that it killed it. That little bullshit competition, if you know, just has fucked everything. And so that's another reason moving out to Nashville. It's like I've met new artists, I've met new people. My videographer guy, like I said, Slave Ego, love this dude. But the live shows is still the missing aspect, and we're still trying to figure it out. That's just how it goes, though. You got to take it a step at a time, do what you can do with what you got. And in my opinion, we're doing great with what we got. I mean, graduating from the school I went to, since I talked with you last time, for those of you who watched that one.
Yeah.
I moved out to Franklin, and I went to Dark Horse Institute, got my audio engineering certificate, and so I get studio time. That's the deal. So it's really come in handy to be a graduate of this program. So there's one cost that's just like pretty much gone, but you still got the promotion costs, the video costs, you know, the
Yeah.
fucking beats that I buy, you know, all that good
Yeah,
shit.
it's like a little small fortune in itself just doing that hobby.
Man,
Yeah.
if I'd had my LLC last year, I had like $2,000 in write-offs. That shit was crazy.
Damn. Yeah, man. Shit ain't cheap when you're dealing with music. Like studio time. Not saying studio time wasn't affordable. It was just cheaper to go ahead and get your own studio and then handle it from there because it's like,
Well, the problem with Memphis studios, especially the one I was going to, is the motherfuckers want you to take what you're bringing it, and they want to make it their vision. You know, like, oh, we're just gonna do this one take through. Don't even, you know, don't worry about punching it. That we don't do that here. And it's like, motherfucker, this is my song, and they're like, well, motherfucker, this is my studio. So, you know,
oh no, I would have told that engineer like, hey man, if I'm paying for the work and this is how I want it done, I'm going to do it my way. Don't let them kind of rush you in the door and rush you back out with whatever. You know, you got to take time with that.
That's why I do it myself. I literally take my laptop, my interface, my microphone into one of the booths at the school when nobody's in it, and I just do my thing, man. That's how this album, Maverick, you know, I recorded it at my dinner break for class, you know, like just I loved all this shit because it was like, even when I wasn't in class supposed to be doing something, I was doing something. And it took off at a certain point with the writing, and it just kind of wrote itself. And I love it when that happens.
There was some celebrity, I don't know if it was like a comedian or an actor, but they were doing some music, but they had a gig where they were like a janitor or something at a studio. And
oh, that's Dax.
And
that
somebody
sounds like Dax.
I'm not sure, but the dude would get in like free studio time overnight because he'd be the last one in the building overnight. And I guess there'd be like one engineer on hand, but he'd somehow get the guy to.
And that's the beauty of being me. You know, they taught us how to use the consoles. I'm not really proficient in it since it's been so long now that, you know, between class graduating and now, but like I know how to, especially if I have help. But I know how to do all the mixing. I know how to do all the stuff now. So it's like I'm a one-man walking Pro Tools session. Like, you know, it's just, you see it, you dream it, you figure out how to make it reality, and then you do it.
Yeah. Good to see you still pushing, man. Everybody's still going in their lane. I know DeBrain. He has some stuff coming out soon.
Yeah, he just dropped a new song.
Yeah.
And I don't hear from them much. I'm not going to front. I don't hear from the guys much these days. Every once in a while, I'll hear from Cobra, and that's nice. But the last time I physically talked to David or Nick, we had done a song called The Goons Who Stole on Halloween. And then after that dropped, it was just kind of like radio silence for a little bit. And, you know, I hope everything's going well with them. We're still, you know, I consider them my brothers, and they're still the people whose music I represent. You know, I still to this day am like, oh, y'all got to check out this Dark Hills Gang shit. You know, Franklin, Tennessee was not ready for Dark Hills Gang. They were like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, man, those are my guys. I love those guys to death. And 3G too. He's another one. Hopefully he'll be coming back soon. I got a feature that I did for him, and I'm just kind of waiting for him to do whatever he's going to do with it. So really, I've been busy as fuck, and goddamn, we're in March, February, January, December, November, October. 5 months, I've been just nonstop. It's been an experience after an experience. You know, partied with Jelly Roll. I sent you that pic the night that happened. Met his producer and his manager and talked with them, and then, you know, kind of had my own little deal of dealing with some bullshit on my end. And it's just nonstop experience after experience after experience, and it gets to the point where you don't realize you can't determine what's real life and what's like the rock star celebrity life that you want to live. Sometimes it's crazy. Like, for example, we talked October 2020, and I got both of the jabs just so that I can go see concerts or get a job at places like Walmart. And both times I had heart issues that almost damn near killed me.
Dude,
No
what?
shit. No
What
shit.
now?
I had a heart attack in April last year, right
Shit.
after I got the first shot. And
Oh, you're talking about like the COVID shots or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
You got all fucked up from it?
Yeah, oh, dude, the first shot I had, like, my heart was beating so fast it felt like it was right here, and then it just felt like it would stop. And it'd
Damn.
start, and it'd stop. And I thought I was going to die that night. And so that was before I moved. Then I moved up here, and in September, I got the second shot. Just because, like I said, I want to go to concerts. I'm going to a concert next month. But 2 weeks or so after I gotten that shot, I'm sitting here and I have a panic attack, and again, the heart problems, palpitations that all of a sudden my heart feels like it's stopped. And at that point, I've been it's been weird. Like, you think about life and death, and you start to realize what the fuck's going on just in general, and you try to make the most out of what you have. And that's kind of how things have been going. So when I say shit's been crazy nonstop, it's just it goes.
Yeah, I mean, are you able to balance work and then studio, or does it all kind of fit?
Well, see, that's the thing I love about when I applied. I told them, I said, hey, I want Saturdays off. I said, okay, you can have either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, one of those days. I said Saturday. I said, all right, and you get one weekday.
Is that for
And
the
I guess
shows, like just in case, or
no, that's just anything. Like, normally me and my manager
okay.
will get together on Saturdays, toke up and chill out, you know.
So you're
in the
doing 6 days a week work?
No, it's 5. You get one weekday. They haven't decided which official day is my weekday. Like, for the past 2 weeks or so, it's been Thursday, but this week it's Tuesday. You know, it's like they're still figuring out what schedule works, but they know for a fact Saturdays I'm off, and I'm using the most of that Saturday. Like, I'm either writing music, or I'm experiencing something to write the music, or I'm looking into just figuring more shit out, like getting my sole proprietorship or my LLC for IGH. And it's always something.
Was the IGH your production type of firm thing or something?
It's my for lack of a better term, it's my label.
Well, I know there was Underground Hustling, which was an actual music circuit.
Yeah, no, this is
people that do the rap CDs.
IGH is Independent Grind Hustle, and it's the thing I started back when I was still on Bloody River, and we talked about this last time. And I just saw how things were kind of playing out, and I wanted something of my own to fall back on. And now it's finally becoming like a real life deal. Like, I've manifested that shit into being a reality. So work hard. Your dreams do come true, I guess, is the
All right, thanks
moral
a lot,
of that.
Man, this internet is so laggy over here. I'm not at home usually where I would be whenever I run the YouTube shit, but
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, what the fuck, man?
I used to skipping at times. Is it kind of skipping on you, or is it just me?
No, it's smooth on my end.
Okay, yeah, probably just my end. So,
but yeah, man, I guess I'll talk a little bit about this album. Maverick came about.
Yeah.
And I started writing it around April of last year, right after the whole heart deal and just the bullshit of being involved with the Memphis scene and just the ripped off competition. And now that motherfucker just won an award for that, claiming it's an original idea, and all the phoniness of that cesspool is like, it just was stagnating the process for me. And so once I got out of that environment, I realized I didn't want to be making the same type of music. I've always wanted to do more country rap shit just because it's what it's what I like. I grew up that way, and then I started doing the city shit, like with the Juggalo shit, and it just now it's kind of melded together. And I like to say that my music is like if Memphis and Nashville fucked and had a baby. That's kind of the idea of my music. And
yeah, I'm noticing there's a lot of like rock overtones and stuff, and
yeah,
it kind of sounds like rap from that area. Do you feel like this is more enjoyable for you to create music of this type as opposed to the Juggalo style?
1,000% yes. And here's the
I feel like
here's
it's more
the difference.
well-rounded for the public if you want public marketing kind of
yeah
thing, you know?
well, not just that, it's not a gimmick. It's not some gimmicky I'm gonna go murder somebody, put some face paint on shit. This is who Sam is. And we got people in Memphis who come down from, fucking Jackson, Tennessee, or Tipton, or Dyersburg, and then they get there, they get a little bit of buzz that they buy, and they go, "Oh, I'm the underground king of Memphis," or I run Memphis, and I'm like, y'all motherfuckers ain't even from here, like immigrating ass bitches. Like, I moved to Nashville, and I kind of do the music that I feel resonates with my soul, but I'm never going to claim to be, I'm the new Prince of Nashville. No, fuck that. Like, that's not how this works. I'm not going to claim to be from somewhere I'm not, mostly because I know the people who actually are from here and who are big names here, say, Upchurch or Jelly Roll, they're going to see that and go, who the fuck is this little, it even says in my name.
Your location alone puts you near these guys to where there's a potential opportunity to actually do some work with them,
Right. And I don't want them to think that I'm trying to bite off their cred just because I moved here from Memphis to escape a stagnated situation. Like, SAMIAM is still strange ass Memphian, intricate and meticulous. Like, that ain't ever gonna change.
I see what you did there.
That ain't ever gonna change. That ain't just some gimmicky name. It's because I've always been different than these other Memphis motherfuckers, but I couldn't thrive out there.
Maybe
the
this
best
area
chance I had was with the best chance I had was with Dark Hills Gang, and they do how they do, where they come around certain times a year, or whatever, and that's fine. It works for them. But for me, I have bigger.
I bet it's just so much work. It takes that much time to get stuff together because they got a lot going on. Like,
right.
When
I respect
the brain gets the project going. Shit, he goes all into it. Like,
right.
Something
and I respect the fuck out of that. I respect the fuck out of that. But my ambitions were kind of getting to where it was a little bit bigger than how I saw it playing out with how they were doing things. And that's not a diss towards them. Like I said at the beginning, I love those guys. But I kind of needed to branch out and do my own thing. And the more I branched out, the more I realized this is the path I need to start going with this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you were always on your own path. I mean,
right.
It's just they were great friends, family, and they were like-minded musicians, like it was fun doing stuff with them. But I think I see what you're saying. Maybe somewhere in you felt like you were kind of stuck with them or something, even though you wasn't.
I tethered myself to them. Like, it is the best way to put it, is I tied myself to that so hard that I was like, I'm going to put everything I'm doing on hold in case they decide to go full out with what we had planned or what we had talked about. And then it just started to seem like it wasn't the right time. And I was like, okay, I can't just sit here anymore. I gotta go. And I feel like David and Nick, they do what they do. They do things their own way. They don't like to have everybody kind of in their shit. They just tease it on Facebook or whatever. Dustin's always been the fucking mythical, in the shadows figure, and then he comes out like the cobra he is, and spits venom into the fucking onto the beat. And I love it when that happens. I still love my own Amen Omen crew. I love those motherfuckers. But like in terms of what I needed to do for me and chasing after this ambition, I was like, all right, I got to take some steps here. I got to kind of develop my own little path. And I'm actually very proud of how it's going. And Maverick for me, it was such an experience with just the recording, the writing, and the kind of branching out, doing my own experimenting on some of the shit. Getting the features I did, like Keegan Grimm on that song Refutation. Like, Keegan's in Ohio and Indiana area and has some pretty good buzz with the underground. So it was kind of cool to bring that underground mentality to this forefront of, here's a more generalized, marketable music style. It's still independent underground to the day I die. Like, there is no selling out bullshit going on there. It's just, and you know how I am. I've always liked
you're
to
here to
blend.
sell records, not fucking
Right.
be Mr. Popular or not. You know, it's all about business at the end of the day. You want to make money off of doing something you love. It is truly a job. I understand.
Right.
Yeah, maybe Nashville might be a better fit for you. Like I said, Memphis may not have been so with open arms for your style music, and maybe Nashville just fits your size better, you know.
Yeah, man. Like, being born, I can't control the fact that I was born in Memphis, but if it was up to me, I would have been born in either Huntington or some small town, because that's just where I feel more like me than I've ever felt in Memphis, even though I'm from Memphis. It's weird to explain, but here's a way. Dad and I lived in Memphis, and yet when my manager, Zach, took me out to Ashland City, I swear to God, I felt Dad's like spirit, aura, whatever the fuck you want to call it, just like floating around. Like he had traveled when he died out there and just like hid away in the woods. So I feel more connected out here to the universe and what bigger scheme, for lack of a better term, I need to follow. And it's been, like I said earlier, one experience after the next, and just seeing where this goes, where this path is going. And with telling my story, it's kind of like, okay, now we're in the chapter in the book where he's moved to the new land. And this is what Maverick serves as, is he's moved to this new place and he's beginning to branch out. And the next album will be, okay, now he's kind of deep set in his roots here to kind of grow. And by the time I'm done, or even by the time I hit 30, I fully expect to have just gone out of hip hop completely, or at least for the most part. I'm starting to go more towards like rock shit and learning to sing again instead of just rapping, and I love it. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, a lot of this album sounds like some of the stuff out of Nashville. Like, that's just how they do it over there. That's the times we're in nowadays. And are you making any way to be able to do some features with like Ryan Upchurch, shit like that? I mean, I think he's near that area, kind of.
Yeah, right? He's from Ashland City.
I'll look into that. See what he wants to.
Oh no, I'm a geek. Okay, I'm a geek out for a moment. My dream features of dream people to work with, not even just once or twice, but on a regular basis, are Jelly Roll and Upchurch. And I've actually been talking on and off a little bit, nothing serious, but with one of their producers. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I can get in the studio with that producer and work on this next album. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it'd be great if it did. Upchurch, for me, once I found his music and really got into it, I realized,
dude, his music's fucking knocking, dude. People are eating that shit up. Like, I didn't even know he had it in him to be such a rapper.
When I found his music and got into it, it made me realize being independent didn't mean I have to be the juggalo shit. And I also didn't have to do like the XXX Tentacion or Ski Mask bullshit where I sound trendy. All I have to do is be me, and if he ever sees this, he'll understand what I mean by this. But like, there's a universal presence in his music that speaks volumes I have not heard since I first discovered ICP, and that is what I've been missing from the music I listened to for so long. Once Twisted and ICP had the beef, it vanished for a while. And then I found Jelly Roll, and I found Upchurch, and I was like, oh, there's that feeling, like, and Jelly, dude, I went to see him at the Opry, and it's like, motherfuckers from the hood or from the level where I'm at now, we ain't supposed to make it to the Opry. Like, I cried just as much as he did when that shit happened, because I realized how monumental of a deal it was. It's not, oh, here's Dolly Parton or Travis Tritt or somebody from a major label. It's this motherfucker's independent, and he's standing on the most recognized little piece of circle wood in the country. It's inspiring, and it makes you really want to go out, bust your ass, and see if you can make it happen for you. So that's just kind of how it goes.
Change, like in the rift of music or something. And a lot of this stuff that the folks in Nashville are vibing out to is it's kind of a change on the music scene. People are allowed to like whatever they like,
Yeah, and I didn't grow up on a farm. I didn't grow up in a small town, but I did have family that lived in a small town. So every once in a while, I'd get that element in my life, and that was always the one that I'd want to expand on instead of Memphis Sam. Memphis Sam is just, I'm like a sponge. I absorb my environment and the energy around me, and I just kind of let it flow through me. With Memphis Sam, it's more of the toxicity that's in the air for all that. What I'm talking about.
Okay, so we get different flavors based on different regions that Sam's in. If Sam's in Memphis, you're going to get the fucking gutter underground dark shit.
And it all
when
combines.
You get the Nashville Sam style music, you get the more earthly, like unique individualism of yourself.
Well, you get both of them. You get both of them. They combine to make Sam I Am. Like, that's the cool thing to me about how I do this shit, is it's not, oh, he's that one style of music. Like, when I say I'm working on a rock and roll album, I mean I'm working on a rock and roll album. And that's way down the line. It's just, I jump in both feet sometimes and get ahead of myself is the problem.
Well, let's talk about the album artwork and the name you chose, Maverick. What does Maverick mean to you, and why was it such an important? I mean, of all the names of anything you could have said,
all right, the original title
on that.
The original title for the album was going to be Dark Horse, but seeing how as I was going to a school called Dark Horse Institute, I didn't want it to be like I was writing that and all of a sudden just making an album based off that. And
well, who knows? It could have very well been part of the Dark Horse Chronicles if there was ever going to be one to come about one day,
Right. Well, I started thinking, I was like, a Maverick is a horse. And so I was like, what if I called it, what if I called it Obsidian Maverick, because Obsidian is that black rock. And I was like, all right, just drop the Obsidian right quick. And if you get a CD, I don't have one right near me, but the back panel where the track listing is like an Obsidian design. So it's an Easter egg. But I said, all right, Maverick, that sounds cool. It has kind of an iconic impact. And then I looked into the meaning of it, because I like to know the meaning behind what I'm calling shit. And Maverick is defined as someone who does shit different and just has a different way of thinking. And that's always been me. That's always been the whole deal with me. Strange ass Memphis. It ain't what the fucking norm is. And so it just worked. And I took that photo like in my bathroom or something after I'd just gotten my sides of my head shaved off. And I was like, yeah, it's the Maverick cut. It looks like fucking horsehair.
Man, shit. I'm so glad I asked that question, dude, because now it's all clicking together.
Right.
So tight.
So I was like, nice, yeah, I like it, and it all pieces just fit together perfectly at the most random times. And so, yeah, that's kind of the backstory of Maverick and what it means and how it changed titles and actually became what it is. And I love this project with there's not a song on it that I go, and I love every song on it, because every song on it somebody can relate to at least one song on this album. They
Yeah,
might
you
not
were
like
putting some
the whole
fucking
thing,
bangers
but
in there. I'm talking about the fucking editing in this album was just so much like just rage on it at times, and that's like good for, I guess, getting your point across of how you want people to see how you were feeling at the time, you know?
right. So, speaking of Maverick and how people were feeling and all that, let's get into some people who got butthurt that aren't from Memphis. There's a track on this album called Confusion. And Confusion is, I got fed up.
It's not you confused, it's other motherfuckers confused, huh?
It's the whole world being confused. It is I guess you could call it a political track. I'm anti-politics. I don't like either side.
Okay.
But
okay.
I wrote the first verse. Let me think. I wrote the first verse right after I got the first COVID shot and had the heart problems. And there was the whole riot at the Capitol deal, the insurrection. And then, you know, there was the force feeding of the mandates and the vaccines.
Yeah.
And I just got so fed up because it was like everybody's jumping to these conclusions about what's going on and everybody wants to be right. And the second verse, the second verse didn't get written until, I want to say it was like September, right before I recorded the song. But I just watched things get progressively worse. And I've always had this feeling of like anything governmental or politic related is so orchestrated. And so there's a line in the song I'm talking about how the media controls what people believe. And I said, people struggle to pay bills while George Floyd gets a gold casket. How the fuck is that fair, bruh? I'm not racist. I'm just asking. Because being white...
Well, that's kind of a touchy subject.
Oh, no.
I mean,
right. It is touchy as fuck. But being white, I'm not supposed to be able to ask these questions. People thought... okay, here's where the funny part is. I didn't realize he actually literally had a gold casket.
Yeah, what's up, DGMS?
What up, man? I didn't realize he actually had a gold casket. When I said gold casket, I'm talking about how the media just all of a sudden, this was the big story. This was what gripped that particular moment in time.
Well, I think a lot of people came together and donated and kind of participated in getting this, like all these funds from the public and other donors and stuff. And
right, but it made it a double-edged sword.
It was to make a point, I guess. Like the guy went down as a pariah, I guess, or a martyr for the
whatever he went down as.
DGMS, that'd be cool if you could come up and talk with us about some of this, because it's like, you know, I'm not too well versed in politics. Like if I start talking about politics, I'll offend people because I don't know how to say it without offending people. You know, because I'm just blunt. You know, that's why. You know.
Well, that line is just a catalyst because somebody else who moved to Nashville to go to school at the school, he moved there from KC-Mo, like heard me listening to the demo version of that verse or something. I don't even know how the fuck he heard this verse, but he got offended as fuck. Like, I mean,
oh yeah.
Okay, I went to school one day. You know this. I used to do the spider braids, right? And it was October, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna wear the spider braids. I'll wear my mask to school because there was no dress code. I was like, I'm gonna see how bad I can freak these motherfuckers out in this studio. I show up with these braids in my hair, and he goes on this tangent because he's there that day about,
well, it's like white boy can't be wearing hair like that or something like that.
Yeah, I'm appropriating his culture and how because I'm white, I'm a guest in hip hop, and me and him almost got in a fight right there. I was like, motherfucker, I ain't a guest in shit. Like, this is not something I'm going to sit here and debate with you about. I'm not a guest. This is not your house. You're from fucking KC-Mo, and you're just mad because ain't nobody listening to your shit anyway, motherfucker. He's mad that I can rap better. Oh, he's a rapper. And he got mad that a white guy could, rap better than him. And so He's all this, you're guest in hip hop. And
there we go.
he made it a point to make it that the black people are superior and all. And I was like, dude, I don't think about shit like that. It never occurred to me.
Yeah, because the way they look at it is like, you're not going to think people are going to feel offended because you're just doing what you feel, what you.
Well, here's where it gets funny as fuck for me. Here's where it gets funny as fuck for me, and I'm going to get a little personal about it. His mom's whiter than me. Like, he's a mixed kid, which, is fine in of itself, but don't go on this, Zulu nation of domination tangent talking about you hate white people when your literal birth mother is white. Motherfucker. That's like hypocritical as fuck. And quite frankly, racist as fuck on your end.
So basically, even though he was mixed, he was going to cling and claim to the fact that he's going to pick the black side of him to say, I'm going to speak on behalf of all this.
He's one of them Kaepernicking motherfuckers. Like
Colin Kaepernick, that guy.
He looks like him too, like for real. He looks like Colin Kaepernick. So I call him a Kaepernicking motherfucker. But I don't deal with these people that well because I speak bluntly and from what's on my heart and mind. I can give a fuck.
Well, I think if it's a free country, everybody should have love and just respect everyone's wishes, I guess. I mean, I don't see why there's got to be a race issue with it when anybody can be an athlete. You don't have to be black or white to be an athlete, boy or girl to be an athlete. Why not, be anything to be a rapper? It's about the skill at the end of the day, I feel like. So,
absolutely. And we'll end it on confusion there because, like I said, it is a political track for the most part, but it's not like it's not like these rappers who get up on their song and are pro MAGA, fuck Joe Biden. I don't like that motherfucker either, but I'm not going to go make a track called fuck Joe Biden. I'm not going to make a track called Go Donald Trump. I thought both of them sucked. Trump did one thing that I expected.
I expected people to make an F Donald Trump track. I knew that was coming out because so many people didn't like him. But yeah, if you was to come out and say F Biden, then I'm sure.
Oh, it's a trend now. It's a trend. It is a literal trend of being a MAGA rapper, and I don't want to be portrayed as that because that's not. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them at all. So, we'll go from that into this other song, and then we'll take a break. But I did a song called "Don't Compare Me." And this is actually the first music video. We'll play that when we take the break. Don't Compare Me was like my message to all these people comparing me to the same old white rappers from Memphis. You know who they are outside of Dark Hills Gang. What we've talked about them before. I'm not giving them word of mouth.
Okay, so that song capitalizes on
don't compare me.
Yeah, all right. So you're opening up the album Maverick with a lot of diversity. Preparedness. You're like, look, this is me, Sam the fuck I am, like it or love it, just kiss my ass if you don't like it kind of mentality. And
pretty much. And it's like, stop comparing me to them phony motherfuckers, because just because I did shows with them in my early days doesn't mean I'm one of them. Maybe back then they could out rap me or even get out of a paper bag. Now it's the same trendy bullshit. You go to Spotify, buy your little fucking 1,000 monthly plays, make it look like you're popping, buy a fake ass, iced out wristband. This is fucking leather and whatever. See, it's like, don't compare me to them bitches. That's not why I'm here. I don't want anything to do with them.
So yeah, you had to come out on this album hard. You made sure that Maverick was going to cover all the bases.
Maverick covered all the bases of.
It's pretty risky, dude.
What do I got to lose?
Well, yeah. Good point. When you say it like that, it kind of brings light to all the dark sides of the room. And I think people need to kind of understand. Respect your opinion. You're an American just like everyone else. So yeah.
Just trying to make my way through the shitstorm of life like everybody else.
Are you prepared to put up with that kind of any kind of backlash or I don't know. It could create a buzz for you that could kind of benefit you down the road because it's not like a shock type of.
Yeah.
It's almost like what's that one guy, the one rapper, Tom McDonald. He's
Yeah,
always doing stuff like
it's not a Tom McDonald deal where I'm like, y'all are so, snowflakes or whatever. I kind of feel the same way, but that's not my neat. That's not where I'm getting in. That's not what I'm talking about in my music. I'm talking about me and these are my thoughts. These are my stories. These are my experiences. Hopefully, so that somebody hears it and relates to the fact that I'm just trying to be a genuine motherfucker on the track and not make music for the sake of making music. That's the difference between me and a lot of people that I've heard is they make songs to make hits. I make the songs that resonate as part of the story that's going on. And so, yeah, Don't Compare Me was like, and you'll hear it in the intro. People were giving me props that were on the opposing side until they got to know me. And then they realized, oh, he's a genuine motherfucker just out here being himself. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, I don't know what else to say about it other than maybe sorry you're so whack or sorry you've put yourself in that box. But I'm over here doing me, staying high and living life and figuring shit out.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to convince people like, hey, give this a chance. You may or may not like it. But I don't like it if people don't like your stuff out the gate because it's like, hey, give it a chance. You may find something like I'm always hearing like your writing on this album is pretty deadlocked in. Like you did good with a lot of double entendres and stuff and shit I've never heard before. So it sounded to me like you really had to use your imagination on this because you really had to get your point across.
You know what? I've been trying to reverse the stigma that I had cast on me with the Joey Future shit. I've been working my ass off to get my cred back. Like, this is not, oh, look at me. I'm trying to be flashy. This is, okay, I gave myself a bad rep. Now I'm about to give y'all a reason to give me a good one. And that's another reason Maverick is just one of my favorite deals. The project I put out last year, the little mixtape, was just letting motherfuckers know I wasn't dead. that I was still here. Maverick is like, okay, now y'all get to see what I can do. That I've escaped all y'all's bullshit. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull up that "Don't Compare Me" video, man.
Don't compare me. Is this off of Maverick?
Yeah. This is off of Maverick. About midway through the album.
This is the video, right? That you did.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm a slow typer.
I'm vibing with the music in the background. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I just kind of threw it on just to fill in the. I'm gonna kill that shit in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's see. I noticed the music. What does it mean when you have it saying like topic?
Oh, that's because I distribute my actual songs through DistroKid.
Yo, what up, DGMS?
What up?
What up, bub?
What's going on, man?
How you doing, bub?
I'm doing all right, brother. How are you?
Chilling. Got work in the morning. Just kicking it with Cree.
Of course. That's what's up. Go ahead, finish your story, man. Don't let me interrupt.
Oh, you're good, man. I was just saying, I don't remember what I was saying.
Well, here, let me piggyback on something for a second. All right, DGMS, I'm glad you showed up because I love to have these talks about things that goes on in nowadays society. It's like it's almost like it's illegal to voice your own opinion, and sometimes your opinion can get yourself ridiculed or in trouble. I want to ask, and what's your answer? Do you think it's fair to be like, when it comes to like, okay, I'm a music artist, I'm going to make a song about XYZ topic. Is it okay to judge that entire artist and their worth over just their political opinion about the state of affairs?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think you can certainly disagree with a person's political standing as an artist, but it shouldn't have any bearing on what you feel about a person's skill. Like Eminem, probably one of the greatest rappers of all time, if not the greatest. He is very, very left on the political spectrum. I don't agree with his politics, but
Yeah.
his skill is undeniable. So I don't judge him as an artist based on his political opinion. I judge him as an artist based on his skill. And I don't, well, he kind of lost me when he did the whole, like, if you stand with Trump, then you're on that side of the line and I'm on this side of the line, and basically F you. So I was like, well, that's fine. I won't be giving you any more of my money. But
Yeah.
it's not because he's not talented. It's because he basically told me to go fuck myself, and I'm not into that. So, you know, it could have been somebody I agreed with politically. If they told me to go fuck myself, I'd be out the door too.
Yeah, it's kind of like why
I
get
love
spit in the
this guy.
face? You know, like it's not like I really hate how ethics and shit got tied up in the middle of freedom of speech. Like, look at this guy up here. He is just working to fulfill something of his heart's desire. He is granted that right as an American citizen.
Absolutely.
Don't kill his product before it even had a chance to breathe. That's all I'm saying.
The thing is, like, I've always been so anti-political because I grew up listening to fucking George Carlin. Like, I was listening to shit I had no business listening to at like the age of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody did. I mean,
Carlin understood something that people today still don't completely grasp, and that is that the system is not set up for the average person. And
it's a big club, and you ain't in it.
it's the same club they used to beat you over the head with.
Get it, club? I see what you did there.
Well, that's actually Carlin's next line.
It's
but
a quote.
Yeah, that's a quote. But yeah, I mean, it's very much like that. I mean, the reason that things are the way that they are is because the elites, the people in power, they understand that it's easy to control people when it's several small factions that are all fighting amongst each other. If those people actually stopped for a few minutes and talked a little bit and figured out, oh my gosh, we've got about 95% of our entire lives in common and about 5% that actually separates us, and we united under the 95% that we're alike, these people in power wouldn't stand a chance because there are so many more of us than there are of them. But of course, people tend to forget that.
United we stand, divided we fall, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's just been so much going on. And, when they presented the opportunity to say, hey, we're going to release this public media crisis to take your attention off of this thing over here, people accepted it and just moved on past it because the world's forever turning. Every day is a new day. And what's the big news with everything going on? I mean, what are they trying to hypnotize us with this week? I don't really watch anything.
It's Ukraine and Russia now, and I mean,
gas prices.
Gas prices, yeah. Anybody who's paid attention for more than 5 minutes in the last 4 years understands that the reason that they want to focus on Ukraine is because old Joe, the big guy, owes a favor to Ukraine for them basically overlooking his son's problems.
So what is that? What does that have to do with his son? What did his son do?
Well, his son used to work for this company called Burisma. That's a natural gas company in Ukraine, and he was on their board of directors, making like, I want to say it was like $500,000 or $600,000 a month or some ridiculous amount of money. He was making millions of dollars a year. He didn't speak the language. He had no history of anything that had to do with natural gas or gas production, but he was on their board of directors. And I mean, it's pretty easy to see how he got there. He's got the last name Biden. And during the time he worked for Burisma, one of the prosecutors in Ukraine was actually looking at Burisma because of some things that they had done that were not quite ethical and outside of the lines of the law. And basically, Biden is actually on tape bragging about how he told Ukraine, you got to fire this prosecutor or else we're not going to give you this aid money that the United States has promised to him. And Ukraine was like, well, you can't do that, and they said the president said, and he said, well, call the president then. And he goes, well, son of a bitch. 10 minutes later, the prosecutor was fired and Ukraine got their money. And like, he's bragging about this because he thinks these people, these elites, they think they're so far above and separated from everything that the average person isn't going to be able to draw lines between what they're doing and what the people that are surrounding them are doing.
Facts.
Yep.
So, like, if Biden wasn't even in office, would he even have any footnote in what's going on in Ukraine?
Well, he would certainly be out saying that the United States needed to put some weight behind Ukraine. I think he would be saying that whether he was president or not, because he, like I say, he owes it to Ukraine. I mean, there are some favors that need to be paid back there. So I think he would still be supporting the idea of going to war in Ukraine against Russia. But
I mean, what does that got to? What does Ukraine got to do with us? Why do we got to be tied up in it?
Man,
I mean,
shit. That's the thing. I never
we're not
understood.
obligated.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a heartless asshole to anybody watching going, oh, you have no sympathy. No, I don't understand why we get involved in other nations' business. I don't get it. And that's, like when we were sending money to fucking Haiti and all these other fucking countries, but we can't help our own motherfuckers. Like, I don't get why we're so tied up in other, I don't get it. Maybe you can explain.
Well, I think you're using like giving aid versus arming them or whatever. Like,
no, I mean like arming them like that. Not necessarily.
We
The
were
Haiti
giving
thing
weapons
was
and
just
shit to Ukraine recently, weren't we? Like in the last few weeks, been giving them like ammo and guns, and have we been kind of helping with their side of the war, but not totally in?
allegedly, I think.
Like, what about all these weapons that got seized over in Iraq or Afghanistan? Remember, it was like a big deal like 6 months ago. There was a whole shit list of like Humvees, guns, all kind of stuff, choppers, and it's like, oh, the enemy accidentally got a hold of it, and it's like,
I don't know, man. Like I said, I keep my nose out of it for the most part. I'll let other people talk about it, and I just kind of form my own opinions. But like,
are you going to avoid topics like that throughout some of the albums? Like, basically going to speak your piece, but then not touch on it too hard. You're just going to kind of say things.
Yeah, like confusion.
Lyric-wise.
Confusion will always be kind of a demerit on my career because of the George Floyd thing, but I was tired of being told I couldn't think or say anything because of my pigment. I was tired of being
feel like
told
the George Floyd thing kind of really set you over the edge.
It was one of the things. Like, there's
like
a couple
you
things
felt
I mentioned.
Insulted by the backlash from it.
I get insulted anytime someone says, "Oh, you're white, so you don't have a place to speak on it." I say, "No, motherfucker, I'm human, and this is how I feel about another human being." Like, there are a couple things in that song that I said that have ended up coming to pass, like the fucking war. I didn't mean a war in Ukraine, but I mentioned there's a foul stench in the air, and it seems like there's a war coming. Like, it's scary how much of this song, before it was even released,
I have to ask, like did Russia successfully take over all of Ukraine yet, or what's going on?
I don't know. I don't fucking watch it, man. I stay the fuck out of it for my anxiety.
I must have ruffled some feathers or something, boys. I'm sorry. My phone just straight shut off. That was interesting.
Oh, wow. Really? See,
They're listening.
They're
listening. They are listening to you.
That is a trip, man. No, but no, Russia has not successfully taken all of Ukraine yet. Ukraine is actually begging Russia to come to the table and do peace talks. And I mean, there's rumors that Russia is just about at the end of the rope as far as like supplies and money is concerned. And the United States has done what they can, kind of. And the United States has kind of done what they can, and the rest of the world to, like freeze Russia's assets. But really, all they've done is just force Russia and China to get closer to each other, and that's not a good thing for us either. So really, the whole thing is a big shit show.
Here's the thing for me.
World War III, but it's
so is it just a flex? Really, is that all it really was? He didn't really want to spend all this money and time on invading Ukraine.
No, dude, I'm gonna say this before
he just wanted to show else answers.
This is the second or third time something like this has happened in my lifetime. Yep. When I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, there was a deal in Ukraine with Russia. And then when I was in 7th or 8th grade, there was another deal with Ukraine and Russia, and now it's happening for the fucking 3rd time.
It's like, go ahead and take it over.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is there are some parts of Ukraine that actually want to be Russia. They claim to be part of Russia, and they've claimed their.
Yeah, you're gonna have people that they have their ideals on both sides. There's going to be a mix of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I've heard there was some Russian citizens that were pissed about what happened, and they would get jailed if they spoke up and denounced what Russia was doing to Ukraine. And they were actually Russian citizens.
They don't have the freedom of speech shit we got, and
no. We're the only country in the world that has freedom of speech guaranteed by the Constitution of said country.
Right.
There's no other country on the planet that possesses that.
And we use it to bash the fucking Constitution that gives it to us. Like,
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Man.
I'm going to kneel for the national anthem because, I'm allowed to do that because I have freedom of speech. But God forbid that you criticize the person who is kneeling for the national anthem, because then you're racist, misogynist, homophobe, xenophobe, whatever. They'll label you with an is for a phobe, and you don't have that say. The world is leaning to the left.
Hit you with a phobe, and out the door they go. It's like,
yep.
They fuck your opinion. You're a hater.
Since I can't be on here too much more longer, let's go ahead and watch that video, and then we'll talk about a couple more songs, and then we'll wrap it up. How about that, Cree?
Sure. Let me go ahead and get us queued up. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on some of the content of the album, which
for sure.
It was some edgy shit.
After the video, we'll touch on like songs like YMT and the more like therapy based shit.
Let's see. Damn it. Sorry, somehow the video. So these videos get pricey or what, man? I mean, I'm not trying to like.
No, man. That
line
one
your
was
pockets with my eyes or nothing, but
that one was like $250, and this one that we did today was like.
You didn't have to do any editing with it.
No, that's all him, man. That's all. That's all ego.
See, that's what I'm saying. I need something where it's like somebody else can handle a load of work, so that.
Yeah, no, he's fucking phenomenal with it. Little backstory real quick before you hit play. Draft is the guy who sung the hook, but the guy in the video is my buddy Maverick. He's standing.
So it's two different people.
Yeah, because Draft lives in fucking New Orleans, and we didn't have a way to get him up here. So I was like, "Hey, Maverick, I need a favor from you," and I gave him a shirt, and we called it even.
Oh, so you were going to try to actually get the guy that did the rap?
No, I wasn't going to try to get him up here from New Orleans just because I knew I couldn't afford it and the schedule we were on. But, I knew I had a friend that would be willing to do it.
Okay.
I got friends in low places.
Yeah, really. All right, guys.
I got
for the first
low
time
friends
ever.
in high places.
There you go.
Low friends in high places, yeah.
For
For the first time ever debuted on my channel, this is SAMIAM with Don't Compare Me featuring Draft official music video.
I'm finna embarrass a lot of you motherfuckers lyrically. I'm finna go full-blown SAMIAM.
Full-blown.
Y'all don't know who that is. One of the best fucking artists I ever listened to. One of the best white rappers in Memphis.
I'm not the average right rapper coming out the Bluff City. I don't focus on that bullshit that the masses claim is trendy. I could give a fuck less if my wrist is looking chilly. I get giddy when the lyrics paint the picture that I'm living, and I'm so fucking sick of being put up in that category. I've been on my grind while them bitches spreading allegory. My shit's getting better. Y'all shit's in the lavatory, about to get flushed. Good riddance, that's the end of story. Please don't get it twisted. I done burnt a lot of bridges, but I never let doubt interfere with the vision. Now I'm handling my business to the point they gotta mention my name in the topic on the best Memphis spitters.
I'm not in my feelings, but I do feel like there ain't too many fucking with me. No, I'm not in my feelings. I'm not in my feelings. I just been putting in all this work, and lately this is how I'm feeling. Don't compare me, don't compare me, don't compare me, don't compare me, don't compare me. We not the same by a long shot. I kept it going when they all stopped. Don't be surprised when his mom drops.
Give me my credit, you people been tripping, cause I've been a spitter for more than a minute. Don't ever forget it, I'm fucking malignant when flipping these written to rhythmic sentences. Been on my grind from beginning to end, and I'm nowhere near finished, so get on my dick. I'm about to go ridicule handling in business. That means I'm killing you ignorant idiots. People get mad when you start to advance, but I don't give a damn, cause I'm up in my bag. My foot's on the gas, and I'm not looking back for the industry, please giving that for contract. You bitches are hoes, and we already know. If Spotify broke, you don't have a stroke. That's why I'm laughing at y'all like a joke that'll never get old. I've been doing this for a while, bro. That saltine got hella flow. Like pop plug got potholes and potheads called bar smoke. So no, I'm Picasso when I spit that hot dope. Then I keep it stocked like I'm Costco. Go.
I'm not in my feelings, but I do feel like there ain't too many fucking with me. No, I'm not in my feelings. I'm not in my feelings. I just been putting in all this work, and lately this is how I'm feeling. Don't compare me, 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 baby. We not the same by a long shot. I kept it going when they all stopped. Don't be surprised when this bomb drops. Don't compare me, 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 baby. We not the same by a long shot. I kept it going when they all stopped. Don't be surprised when this bomb drops.
Yes, sir.
Boom, boom. Well, that video was quite energetic. Is it safe to say that the one you filmed today is going to be kind of same vein type of stuff? Or
No. More slow paced, different style beat, a lot more stillness.
more cinematic, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it reminded me of like when Twisted would do some of these theatrical, like do you guys remember the Sick Man song? Sick Man.
Oh yeah.
They
Sick
did
Man was
some
good
like
song.
movie shit with that too. I was like, what the fuck? But,
Okay, it's not that
hey,
cinematic, but it is, you know,
I mean, you guys
it's more
like,
cinematic
chicks and
than
shit out in the woods.
He's like, listen, Chris, I don't have a $10,000 budget, okay?
right.
Yeah, well, we covered all this, and you know, the guy did very good production on that. I like how he did the video. I have to be honest. I mean, the choice of like how the hook went, I probably would have did that a little different. But I mean, hey, if that was your vision, you did it. You made it happen. So,
Right.
I love the video though. Everything like the color and everything just popped, man. It looked like it was some real legit fucking production, man.
He had that shit shot and edited in a day. I was
that
amazed.
dude. Not only does he have some serious gear, but he has some serious editing programs. You can tell.
Right. That's why I'm so
camera,
psyched to
man.
see what he does with this one, man. I'm like, I just cannot wait to see what he sends me for.
So you
this.
brought him back in for this video too?
Oh, he's the only guy I'm gonna work with for my videos until
Wow,
I
hell yeah, okay.
get the budget, you know.
So when you say this thing's like a movie, did you actually kind of write out how this video is going to be, or was this kind of some of his manufacturing?
When I
like
say
an
a
idea?
movie, okay, when I say a movie, I don't mean a movie like
Like,
a
did you have
movie.
help coming up with the idea for this song? I mean, for the video, I mean.
Okay, so it was my creative input on some shots, his creative input on some shots, and my manager's creative input on some shots. And just all together, you know, I had some visions of things I wanted, like the spreading of dad's ashes and, you know, maybe a smoking of a joint here or there and being in the woods, being by a lake. But there were other filling the gap. That's kind of how our process is like I'll provide some bulletin points and then he'll
go. There's some
connect the
woods.
lines, you know. It's really kind of a cool way to see how the three of us, or even just me and him.
So do you kind of lean towards the manager for insight about ideas and stuff like that?
Okay, I'll talk about my
like
manager a little
part of
bit.
the team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Zach Hagan is my manager. He was a fellow classmate in the audio production class. He's from Michigan. He's about 10 years older than me. He has been somebody
Is this
in
the
my
studio
life.
engineer guy?
No, dude, this is
Okay, so this is a completely different fellow.
different guy.
Okay,
I think
okay.
I may have posted him a couple times on my Instagram, but that's about it. He has been such a blessing in my life just how he has leveled me out. He's shown me different perspectives on things. He's kind of given me a new fire with how we want to do this music shit, because I was getting burnt out. And the okay, the motherfucker does dabs as a, like, you know, just as breathing exercises. Like, he's always in
He's a
another
smoker, huh?
realm. Oh yeah, he's in another realm, and I love it. He is the guide on this journey through the space and time continuum. And I really turn to him a lot, because I tend to get in my feelings a little too much about, oh, is this perfect enough? Oh, is this just right? And he'll just sit back smoking a doobie, like, relax, dude, it's fine, you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
so he gives you like outward, like he'll kind of look at it from like, well, how would the public kind of perceive this image?
Well,
and then-
even just how would he perceive it? You know, I'm not going to delve too much into his issues, but he's had his fair share of demons. And it helps when somebody who's been down the rough path can kind of help level you out.
They kind of know. Yeah, it's not like they're not used to not seeing, you know, turmoil
Right.
or strife. Or
Because he's not a hip hop head, he's a metal head. He loves metal music, so he also gives, you know, perspective from that side of the fence, and it just helps round everything out. You know, once we got back in touch, we had a brief little hiatus of talking, but once we got back in touch, and he's like, hey, why don't I be like your music partner or something? You know, we'll figure out a official term. I was like, hell yes, because I need somebody in my corner. For the longest time, it's literally been my ass breaking my back to do this shit.
yeah,
for
you're gonna
myself.
need help. You know,
You know?
things, you know.
Right. So yeah, Zach.
So this
has
guy's
been,
like a bona fide, like he's gonna devote any kind of work and attention to your project. He's gonna give his, you know, put his best foot forward on it to ensure that the product you two
within
put
his
out.
within his means, yes.
Okay.
Like, we kind of help each other stay on the path. You know, everybody's got their demons and their struggles they go with. But when it comes to making sure I don't fly off the rails and decide, well, I'm fucking burnt out, I'm going to retire, he'll just say, hey, take a break. You know, like, what are you trying to prove right now? You just put an album out. And it's like, you know what? You're right. Like, I'd already started buying beat after beat after beat for this next album, and I've already racked up quite the fucking bar tab on that. And he's like, dude, slow down. Like, we got shit we got to take care of with the first album first, you know?
Bro, Bar Tab would be a sweet name for a hip hop album.
I actually I do want to do one called Last Call.
Well, yeah, but Bar Tab, you know, because you're spitting bars.
Oh,
But then there's
shit.
also the double
You're right.
entendre of it's my bar. I got to pay my bar tab. You know?
He gets a 5% credit for the for the writing of that song.
There should be it should be like a diss where, like, okay, if you find that somebody's not really holding their weight or treading water as an artist, you could be like, man, it's time to pay your bar tab.
Nice. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Woo!
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, fire away.
Do you find that nowadays, with technology moving the way that it is, everybody basically having a recording studio in their pocket, and when I mean, obviously, it's not going to be the same quality as what you get in like a high-end studio or whatever, but they're shooting commercials on iPhones now, you know, music videos and stuff like that. Do you find that sort of helps to level the playing field a little bit in the music industry, because now you have access to things that 20 years ago, 15, 10 years ago, artists wouldn't have had access to, as far as being able to make their own music, videos, that type of thing?
Yes and no. People having instant access to a recording studio has oversaturated a lot of shit, but it's also helped, you know, see that not everybody's really legit with how they do business. Technology, I'm not the biggest fan of some things technological standpoint wise, but there are ways it's helped me, like the fact that, you know, I'm running a fucking mic through an interface on a laptop, for example, just to do this interview. It you know, and I don't have to go to a radio station to have that kind of radio show mentality.
Yeah, good question. Shit.
I love this guy though. But yes, I like certain aspects. I like certain aspects, but like I said, you get every motherfucker who figures out how to hit a record button thinking they got bars coming up. And I knew a guy who literally took other people's beats. Like he took Hobson's Killer song, the Kill Her song, and he took the beat from that and he stole Tech Nine's verse off Worldwide Choppers and rapped it on that beat and called it like something different, like it was his own. Like you get people like that. And then you get people like the people I came up with who actually started off good and, you know, did pretty decent for themselves. And then they start doing this bullshit where they can pay for, you know, monthly listeners on Spotify. And it just, you have to really weed through the tall, thick grass to find the actual motherfuckers that are trying to make a dream reality and not just makes a quick cash grab.
Yeah. I feel like it would help though a little bit if people are able to get themselves out in front of the public so much quicker now than they used to do. I think that it will also help in a few ways, and one of those things is that like if you get negative feedback, if you're not the type of person that can handle it, then the kind of weak people kind of drop out a little bit faster anyway. But also the people who really do have the drive and determination, when they get that criticism, when they get those kind of negative comments, then they take that and they use it as fuel and they use that to try and improve their craft too. So I feel like, yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I'm with you. I understand exactly what you're talking about because there's way too much. Like I get ads on Facebook of like, hey, hit me up for if you want to hear my music. And I send them a message.
Buy this beat pack.
Shit I've ever heard.
Man, Cree can tell you all about it. And if you want to hear the story, you can go watch our last interview of how I got too big for my britches and tried to do some stuff. And Dark Hills Gang and Nicodemus just ass raped my last gimmick and made it so that I had to really grow up and figure out what to do and what not to do. And I love those guys for it. It helped me develop into who I am today, knowing that somebody was going to call me on my shit. And they not only called me on my shit, but they threw my shit right back into my face. That has helped drive the lyricism that you hear on this album and the just pushing it to the limit with what I can do and what I have to learn to get better at. And if I have no negative criticism, there's nothing telling me what I need to get better at. And if I don't know what to get better at, then you're going to get the same old shit as you're going to get, you know. And so I love criticism. It's the motherfuckers who come in like that KC Mo bitch talking about I'm a guest in hip hop and I need to watch what I say because I'm white.
Who was this? Was he a fellow student at the academy you were?
Yeah, he was a fellow student that moved here from KC Mo. He had gotten a little bit of buzz around his little bullshit indie rap scene in KC Mo. He hates Tech Nine, even though he's from K. He's like fuck Tech Nine. He doesn't really like KC Mo, and I'm like, I'm from Memphis. I don't give a shit either way. And he, you know, he has this stuck up mentality. He came down here and goes, "Oh, I'm not playing any shows unless I'm getting paid." And I just laughed my ass off. I was like, "Dude, this is Nashville. That's not gonna happen for you like at all. Much less a hip hop show. But you're not getting paid. You're not, dude. Nobody knows who you are here." So yeah, he's a fellow student, and even people who I'm mutually affiliated with him that do work for him sometimes are like, he's just not getting it. He thinks he's up here when he's really down here. And I wish he could get over himself, because when I first heard him, I thought, okay, yeah. And I don't know what it is about these people. I hear them for the first time and I hear some of their shit and I go, all right, they just need a little development. And then they get too big for their fucking britches and all of a sudden it's the worst shit I've ever heard. A perfect case of this would be a chick in Memphis, whatever the fuck her name is with the LaFoney crew. You know, I'm not saying no names because I'm not giving them that much attention, but you hear their first song and it's like, okay, there's potential. And then they release their actual first solo deal and it's just like, why'd they smoke that crack? You know?
Well, let me ask you something real quick. These people that you've had like brief little things with or whatever have you, are they still active in the music scene as of now? Or do they? Okay, I didn't know if these were some people
Dude,
that
these
kind
are
of
the
showed
these are
up
the
on your front
people.
porch and then fell off eventually, and you're still here.
No, dude, these
kinda
are the people
thing.
that were doing the shows with me that 3G was putting on. And then when COVID hit, they stole Nicodemus's idea for his competition, Battle of the Mic. It will always be Battle of the Mic, not your little fucking contest. You know who you are.
What did they call it then? If they
They
stole the
call it.
idea,
Don't
They,
give it any shine.
I'm not giving the fucking name out. I was part of it. You can go find it. You know what it is, and if you don't know, then I know somebody. I can point you in the right direction. But
I
all
mean,
you
they may or
gotta
may
do,
not see this, but I mean, it's always to presume they're going to see this. But I mean, it's real life. It really happened. I mean,
yeah.
what? Okay, did Nick get offended in any way
I
from
don't know
it,
about offended. Me and Nick at one
or did they
point.
kind of burn him out, or what?
No, dude. There was some brief Facebook back and forth bullshit, and Nick
Okay.
massacred him in posts. You know how Nicodemus does. He don't fucking care. He will, impale you like Vlad the Impaler and put you out there for everybody to see. But I don't like speaking on it too much in detail because then I have to say names.
Behind you.
Nice. Then I have to say the names. And then when I say the names, it gives these people attention, and they aren't worth any real attention. They have to go buy attention on Spotify. And you know what? I'm going to let them keep doing that shit. But what I will say is they get all these judges. And if you're in Memphis, you know what I'm talking about. You get now you this.
I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah,
You know where
the
I'm
outcome
going with
of it.
this. You know where I'm going with this. And it's a popularity contest. I was part of this. I did this thing right after we did our interview, Krios, and I said, fuck that competition. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go be just a thorn in these people's side, and I'm going to represent Bloody River on their competition. And I did. And Tom Ski Mask and fucking Nasty Nardo and, not Play a Fly. I forget the other motherfucker's
Damn, Nasty
name.
Nardo was involved. Was he like a judge or something?
He was a judge, and they were all fucking with my
Damn.
shit. But all of them came and told me, "Look, this is a popularity contest, and you ain't popular. Your music is dope, but
wow.
it's not trendy."
But as a
And I was
person, you wasn't going to trend. no matter
right.
how this-
They were telling me this. The only reason we're choosing the guy who was against you in that round is because he has more trendy music. Tom Ski Mask told me in the parking lot. He was like, "Man, no, as a live show, you killed that shit. As a competition for a popularity contest or a pissing contest," I was like, "Tom, I ain't worried about winning. I only came here to, have the Bloody River
Sam,
flag."
can I say something? And hopefully it doesn't offend you, because this is the truth, and this is nothing bad. It's
Okay.
just from like what I perceive from
Sure.
other people too. Also, you're talented at what you do, but I think there's a majority of like, maybe people don't like you personally. Like they didn't give you a chance. They heard the music. They know the music's
Right.
good. It's fine. It carries itself. Like it's not like you get in the booth and you just suck. You're not on time.
No,
you
and that
can't
comes from
deliver,
the stigma.
It's maybe you personally, and that's why you've probably kept or caught such a bad rap with any competition, I guess, if you were to say.
It all kind of stems from the whole rep with Joey Future and how I lashed out and I was young and dumb. It kind of all circulates around each other. But yes, I can agree.
And also, you can't please everybody, like,
and
because
trying.
with
That's
lovers, there's going to be haters,
I know who my are. I know who appreciates me as a person and my music, and that's why I keep doing this shit. I know the people who don't like me as a person, don't like me as a musician, and I could give a rat's ass, pun intended.
That's good.
What
That's
they think.
Good attitude to have about it, because you got to have that attitude to actually be successful.
Shout out Josh Crosby. Shout out Jillian Accor, Nisha Nicholson, all them motherfuckers from school right back in Memphis that have been here since before I was even fucking recording shit in 2013.
Before Joey Future.
Before CMOC, dude. Before
That's back
fucking
there, man.
Yeah, man. Dude, I know who my fucking people are. I don't give a fuck about these phony motherfuckers because they can't even keep their own people in check. They like one person, then hate them the next second. So they can all suck a dick. And while they do that, I'm going to be up here doing my shit. That's just how it goes. And quite frankly, I'm unbothered by who doesn't like me or who likes me at this point, because I know I have real people that do like me and how my music has impacted them. Zach is one of those people. Like, he's not a hip hop head, but he sees the message in my shit. And he understands that what I'm trying to do is not just on a hip hop scale, it's on as a person, like a conversation, which I will use as a segue into songs like YMT on this album, which stands for You Might Think, and you played it on one of your live streams. YMT was written literally while I was having a mental breakdown, and I was like, I'm going to jot down this therapy session, just, and try to make it rhyme. And it did. And it's one of the most impactful pieces I've ever written, and it's one of the most personable ones. You also got songs
into a song.
Oh yeah, no, I was listening to the beat, just kind of writing out feelings, like how I was feeling, and it flowed. I didn't have to worry about it rhyming. It flowed. You got songs like YMT.
Damn.
You got songs like Can You Blame Me, which talks about the whole Memphis bullshit. You got songs like Reminiscent Daydream that talks about missing your old life but still being here. A reminiscent daydream is like,
damn,
when you think about a memory, right? Or you've had someone tell you a memory from their life and you can picture it like you were there, even though you weren't even a fucking sparkle in the universe yet. It's one of those things that's so difficult to understand and so complex that when you finally feel it, you're like, here's a quote from my dad. His student one time at school asked, "Do you believe in reincarnation?" He said, "No, but I did in another lifetime." That's a reminiscent daydream.
Fantastic.
Damn.
That's just how it is. What else you got for me? Somebody ask me one more question, and then we'll kind of wind it up, because I am getting tired and I got work.
What time you gotta be at work?
10:30, 11ish. They're kind of flexible.
Okay. I'll be up around then. Probably quite before that. But yeah, go ahead, DG. What'd you have to say?
Well, I was just gonna ask, with the topic was brought up a little bit, and I'd like to bring it back. I know it's kind of a touchy subject these days, but as far as being like a white rapper, do you find that, because it seems like nowadays the white rappers that you see, all of them will complain that they're being told, this isn't your house. They're being told you're a guest. You're appropriating culture or whatever. Do you think that it is, in your experience, does it happen as frequently as what you would believe listening to other white rappers, or do you think that it's sort of overblown?
In the South in particular, I can see it. Here's why it doesn't really ever strike me that much. I grew up when I first started listening to hip hop, and I studied the teachings of guys like KRS-One, not just in their music, but they're like when they were doing their motivational speaking and shit. And one of my favorite speeches from KRS-One is he talks about how hip hop is different from rap. Hip hop is for men and women, and rap is for boys and girls. I want the car, I want the chain, I want the girl. Boy, am I providing for my community? Am I making an impact in this universe? Am I, spreading a message? Man, hip hop. And hip hop isn't just music. He was talking about some Italian graffiti artist who used to do his shit. He said, that's hip hop. Rap is this trendy bullshit in which, has dug itself into hip hop. Hip hop isn't just music for me. It's a whole nother doorway of life. It's kind of like going to the redneck rave and seeing all these motherfuckers, do the mudding and getting high and getting drunk, and everybody's unified. There's not a care in the world other than we are humans having a good time. Hip hop is like, okay, we're going to stand and we're going to preach our message. And when something is injustice towards us, and I say us just as a human race, we're going to call it out. Granted, it was started by African Americans, and that's fine. I don't dispute that shit because it's fact. But at this point in the universe and time and on planet Earth, it's not just a strictly race thing. There is no color in the 808 kick drum. There is no color in message until you put that color in the message. And that's why when it comes to racial issues, 9 times out of 10, I have to make sure that I either know the person I'm talking to about it, or I have to know that they aren't going to take it into where their race is superior. But when it comes to white rappers, particularly in the South, yes, because we have that stigma of the South and that shit that happened. You know, up north, I guess it's hit or miss. I don't really know. I'm not from the north. I'm from Tennessee. But yeah, I see the good and bad in both sides of every question you've asked. And I love questions that I could do that, because it's like, on one aspect, I can see why A, B, and C, and on another aspect, D, E, and F.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a good answer. Yeah.
Well, I don't try to do this shit to get popularity points. This is just, how I feel about it. And I didn't know what the fuck the word racist meant until somebody told me, oh, because you're white and in the South, yeah, you're probably descended from a slave owner. It was like, really? You're still, you want to take it there, even though, it's just that kind of shit. Like, I grew up in public schools where, I didn't think about the fact that most of the kids there were black, or that when I was with my dad and we lived outside of Orange Mound, that was considered a dangerous part of town. It was never for me an issue other than, oh, yeah, sure, he looks a little different, might have a little bit different hair, might like a couple different things. The whole the stereotypes with like the fucking Kool-Aid and the fried chicken and the grape soda and all that shit. I didn't see that because I was doing that shit. My friends that were my colors were doing that shit.
Shit, yeah.
Who doesn't like fried chicken?
Man, if you don't like fried chicken, your mama's a hoe.
Yeah, I will say I haven't heard a lot of your music. I did enjoy that song that Cree played, and I'll say this: my first initial thought was, okay, but then you sped up, and like, I don't know, it just hit me like there's a certain talent to, like, I think a lot of people for the most part can sort of, keep rhythm on a beat with some words to a certain degree. But to be able to do that 1.5 flow or that 2 times flow, that's a skill. That's something that most people don't possess. And I was really impressed to see you do that. So.
Yeah, thank you. I encourage you to check out some of my other shit, for sure. Like I said, being from Memphis, I kind of learned that triplet flow. And there was a time in my life when I despised that flow because it's all I heard, because of Migos and fucking Young Thug and all that bullshit that was coming from over there. And they're like, oh yeah, Migos started that flow. And then I'm like, no, see, I've been hearing this shit from 3 6 Mafia and
Lord
Tommy
Infamous,
Wright.
man.
Right. It was like, learn where the fuck that shit came from. Like Bone Thugs. For anybody that didn't see the Bone Thugs versus 3 6, that shit was legendary. I watched that shit and loved every second.
Yeah, I saw some of the highlights of that.
You a hater, Busy. You must take your pills. But no,
it's funny
man.
seeing a bunch of old rappers, that had success 20 years ago, still going at it today like it was yesterday,
And to build off of what DG was saying, to anybody watching this who hasn't heard my music or has just heard the one song, hopefully after hearing me talk just as a person with Cree and in this interview, you're kind of interested and intrigued to go see what else you can find. Like I said, Maverick is the first studio album, so the quality is going to be different, but each song I do kind of has its own little special package that comes with it. And hopefully we can get the ball rolling enough to where I don't have to continue saying the same shit. Like, those motherfuckers over there are fake as shit buying Spotify plays. I hate that 90% of my catalog right now, if you listen to it, they're brought up. But that's just how it is, because everybody's like, oh, you're with them. And I'm like, no, I'm me. I'm over here. But, you know, Cree.
But at the same time,
here.
you're explaining your side of your experience of it, you know.
Right.
So, and you know, this is kind of how it is. So it's like listen to it and see your side of it, you know.
Right. Well, I'm gonna wind it down, guys. I gotta go to work in the morning. I'm pretty tired too. I've had a long day, man.
Yeah.
Shooting the videos.
I'm glad you came by. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna lead us out with High Class White Trash.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Shout out to my boys King Cold and Nasty Ink from Indiana.
Yes, I saw those names and those features, and I was like, I've got to check this out because I've heard of those names. And I may or may not get on a little bit, but we'll stop this here whenever we're done. But yeah,
I actually have the week verse on this. I will say that this is like a cipher style track, and at this point in the writing process, I was like, you know what, I can have one track on this album where I just kind of float by. So thank you for y'all too for knocking this one out of the park.
I had a lot of fun, man. For real, I'm glad you came up. Thanks.
For sure, man. Y'all take care. I'm gonna watch on the YouTube so I can hear you.
All right, SAMIAM. Yeah, DG, I'm gonna probably get on here. I'm gonna take like a little hour break, maybe get on because I'm still on vacay, I guess you can call it. And you know, we'll be heading up out of here in the morning, and so I'm gonna use up this weekend while we're away from home. But I'm gonna be up for a little bit, and probably fire up another stream here shortly on a different topic or subject. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know me anytime.
Good luck with the projects at home, man.
Yeah, thanks.
You had me thinking and wondering about my house now. Because it's like, damn, why not, you know?
Why not?
How long did it take you guys to figure out the measurements and whatnot?
Oh, shoot, man. We're still figuring out some of them. I got some customizing I got to do, and I've been doing a lot of YouTube research, a lot of, okay, let's see. How do I do this? How do I do that?
You had to do a little bit of demo, a little bit of rebuild, fabricating some new things that didn't exist before. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
one hell of a learning experience.
Yeah, it's been fun though. I mean, it's definitely been frustrating, but it's been fun, and it's gonna totally be worth it by the time it's done. I can't wait to show it to you when I finally put the finishing touches on it.
Yeah, and the best part is you own the home, right? So you're gonna get to keep that value with it, you know?
Yep. Forever. Thank goodness.
Man, I can't wait till the day I own my own home.
Hey, man, it's coming, brother. It's coming.
Yeah. All right, well, feel free to hang out if you want to or not. I'm going to go ahead and play this track, and then I'll end the stream there. But I will be back, guys, to anybody that's checking it out now. Here goes High Class White Trash by SAMIAM. Tonight's guest coming along very nice and fierce. Here we go.
Let's get it.
I'm white trash and I'm in trouble.
This for the people in the white trash trap house. Rolling weed up on the plate with the music bumping loud. Yeah, we different and we proud. That ain't never gonna change. And if you don't like them, you can kiss my ass. Man, I'm back row stone trying to find a field party. Got that good green smoke flowing all through my body. Looking for myself a hottie, trying to act a little naughty. Maybe even let me pipe her like my first name's Roddy. I'm a rowdy little honky looking for a good time. Sipping on some moonshine, sitting in the moonlight. Trying to start a bonfire, then light up the night. So I can dance it away until I'm ready to retire. Shout out to the people that been holding down for me, cause I remember way back when I was living on the streets. All the people who helped me get back on my feet. Yeah, the roots run deep on this family tree, cause we some high class white trash. This for the high class white trash. We some high class white trash. This for the high class white trash. I've been in this game since Napster. Flow sound country, but a little bit faster. Still hit the bars and get tore up plaster. Pocket full of drone, now you know what I'm after. Put your hands up like the police jaded. I've been on the streets with my one and getting faded. Need a bottle of Crown and my hair braided. Gonna drink until we completely inebriated. Now I'm walking through Memphis with my feet off the ground. Samuel got bars, so you know I gotta come to town and work with him. Young white smoke, gas on E, but our hopes ain't broke. We know hard work pays off in the end, so we take all of our problems and contend with them. One by one before the day's done. Look who climbed the mountain as the chosen ones. We so high, class, white, trash. This for the high, class, white, trash. We some high, class, white, trash. This for the high, class, white, trash.
Trailer park rage, you see hood billies, I see dollar signs. Keep our nights lit like stills, that's for the moonshine. Musket down living. Stay in my own lane like NK. Talk all you want for my rent's paid. So I'm free to be beat, sit back and vibe to a beat. I can fit it on the back roads, I can ride with the streets. Cause I've been there, I've done that. Seen more than most cats. Take the shot of rock, I bet you feel it where your throat's at. Ain't no need for materials, keep the necessities covered. Like giving a bitty freak, learn that from my mother. If it's raining, I'm going fishing on my ass, getting money. Don't cost no money when you're kicking it with your sisters and brothers. Those are family days, man, and they all on the same page. Thought at a young age, it's okay if you close state, so we doing the damn thing. I see you outside. Rain, sleet, and snow, it's going down. Wow.
We some high, class, white, trash. This for the high, class, white, trash. We some high, class, white, trash. This for the high, class, white, trash. We some high, class, white, trash. This for the high, class, white, trash. We some high, class, white, trash. This for the high,